Now, Paul and I were sitting on the back porch, and I was reminiscing about, well, some stuff at the hospital. Paul, what was I reminiscing about? Come on in here and tell me what? Come on. Give me a help here. Let me look like a fool. What was I talking about this thing? About the
cyst.
Oh, the cyst on the the cyst. Oh, yes, the cyst on the back of this guy's neck. Now, this thing came in as like, sort of a subcutaneous cyst on the back of this guy's neck. Now, it was a fairly big one. I mean, it was a fairly large one. Okay, fair enough. On the back of this guy's neck. And, okay, well, those could be just subcutaneous cysts, like a big old web, like, stick a needle in it to like, pus shoots out, that kind of thing. But the idea is if you do that, then the cyst wall remains and it comes back. So you want to get the whole thing out. So the goal was, in this operation, was to just excise it. You go around the cyst wall. Well, this wasn't particularly large. I mean, it was like maybe 2 thumbs. It was like 2 thumbs worth. 2 thumbs worth. Paul's going down to wander down to look at the stuff at the end of the driveway right now. Be careful. Okay, he says he's going to be careful. So we get this guy in, and it's it's on the back of the neck, so you have to position the guy at least laterally. I'm sorry, I got to blow my nose here. Laterally on his side. Well, you can't. Obviously you can't operate on it when it's to the back of his neck if he's on his back. So, but when I saw what Dave was doing, and then he started pulling this thing. He got down to it and he started. He got around and he started pulling this thing. And I said, "Wait a minute." I said, "Wait a minute, to Dave. That's surgeon is Dave. I'm not going to tell you his last name." I said, "You need to get a neurosurgeon here because I think that thing is going down to this guy's spinal cord." And to summarize, it ended up that this guy's this thing had gone down into the back of this guy's. Well, anyway, I think it went down between C1. I think it went down between C2 and C3. But it was a lot lower down on the back than where you'd think C2 and C3 were. So there was like a little track, and that's the way it often is on some of these things. And I said, if you pull on that thing, you're going to pull this guy's spinal cord right off this guy's medulla, and you're going to pith him, and he'll be crippled. I mean, like more than crippled, Fortunately, there was a neurosurgeon sitting on his big ass, and I mean big ass. I mean, this guy had a big ass. I mean, he had a huge ass. And he came in, and we repositioned the patient, from the lateral position to the prone position. Okay, right there, that takes a fair amount of time. And then he ended up doing a 3-level cervical hemilaminectomy and getting this thing out. It was a neurological cyst that came off of the spinal cord in this guy that had finally blossomed out and was coming up to the surface on this guy's neck that Dave was going to excise, and so it worked out very well. Now, from a financial standpoint, this was scheduled as a cyst excision. Okay. Well, a cyst excision is like a 3-point thing, and you might say 3 points, so you might say, okay, well, maybe a $400 anesthesia bill. This thing was over an 8-9 hour case, and this is a neurosurgical case, and you're changing positions. The actual bill should have been, but they wouldn't have paid it. But the actual bill was it was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,800. and then people came back at me saying I was trying to commit insurance fraud for this thing. What a crock of shit, isn't it great? Well, the guy did fine, and that's all that really matters, doesn't it? So, there we go. So I'll say bye-bye YouTubers on that. Watch out for those things on the back of your neck.